When it comes to education, everyone has a different idea of what works. Students want less work, administrators want more, and teachers want some kind of happy medium. Passion fuels innovation. With the amount of work given, it takes time and effort to keep your head above water in school. And in order to genuinely succeed, you need passion. But passion is hard when the material just doesn't interest you. For every student that can breeze through school, others pull all-nighters just to come home with a C-. In a study from the American Psychological Association, it was reported that 27% of teens experienced extreme stress during the school year. About a half reported fatigue, and nearly a third reported skipping a meal due to stress. The effects of stress on a person have been well documented, but studies are finding that teen stress rivals that of adults. We are not as equipped to handle it, and placing the same expectations on a 14-year-old as a 40-year-old is irresponsible and potentially dangerous. Passionate young people are the future. We expect this generation to become the scientists and engineers and innovators of tomorrow, but we're not giving them the time or resources to develop those passions. The Journal of Alternative Education published a study in which over 4,000 students and 10 high-performing high schools were polled. They were found to have an average of 3.1 hours of homework a night. 6 hours of school, 3 hours of homework, and that's not including kids that have jobs, some have to help support their families. They just can't do it. The current system has to change. We all push change and improvement in everything we do. Past generations want this generation to have it better than they did. So why has our education system refused to change? I want a system that recognizes the worth of passions other than the core subjects. I want teachers to form lessons around the needs of their students. I want schools to do everything they can to help us learn and grow in the best possible way. It's not about how school is too hard. It's about schools not doing everything they can to help us learn and grow in the best possible way. Teens handle stress differently than adults, but many destructive behaviors are exactly the same. Illegal use of Adderall is on the rise in both high school and college as a study drug, a way to get through an all-nighter or extra homework. Binge drinking and other drug use is considered as valid an option for relaxing at the end of the day as sitting down with a good book. And on some occasions, the intense stress and pressure to succeed leads to teen suicide. Now that seems like an extreme reaction, and it is, but think about it this way. When you're a young person told that everything in your life revolves around how well you do in school, your ability to get a good job, to start a family, to support that family, to buy a home, to buy a car, when you're told that all of it revolves around how well you do in school and you're failing school for whatever reason, it's easy to imagine that there's nothing left to live for. A perfect GPA is not the only thing that matters in life. To become a well-rounded person, you need hobbies and life skills and experiences. We're not giving our young people time to figure out what it is they love to do. The current system has to change. We don't need to stay with the same rigid system we've had for 40 years. We don't need to force kids to wake up at 5 a.m., contributing to what's becoming a national sleep deprivation epidemic. We don't need to tell teachers they can't teach the way they want to, the way that engages students on a personal level. We don't need to standardize tests every 2 weeks. And we don't need to force kids into a life where they spend their youth in school only to get a good job and work until they die. My generation needs to learn compassion and critical thinking before they memorize every digit of pi. My generation needs to find out what it is they care about before they're stuck in a cubicle for the rest of their lives. If you give us the time and the support that we need, I think we'll just surprise you with what we can accomplish. Thank you.